Welcome to another Chelsea chat.
Oh, Dennis Wise and Auba, they score bloody great goals at the San Siro. Promise that's the last time I'll ever sing on Chelsea chat. Also, sorry if I put you off your breakfast, but I'm happy this morning, and why wouldn't I be? Last night at the San Siro, it was AC Milan 0, Chelsea 2. And what a game it turned out to be. You know, we always knew that they'd come at us at the first 10 minutes, which they did. But even so, I thought we was in control of that game. I thought we was in control of it. We were committed. We were at it. Everyone was putting in a shift. We certainly looked like we got a lot more quality than they have individually. And yeah, everything was going smooth. We had a couple of chances. There were none of these stupid mistakes. Then Mason Mount goes through. Tamori clearly pulls him back. I don't know what Robbie Savage was on about. There was no doubt. He pulled him back. Yeah, Mason Mount stayed up because he wanted to score a goal. And fair play to the lad. But it was a clear foul, and it stopped a goal scoring opportunity. So it was a sending off and a penalty every day of the week and twice on Sunday. I don't know why they employ that Savage. The only reason I can think of that they would employ that Savage is so they make that Enialuko look slightly knowledgeable. Because, you know, you've got, I'm all for diversity, like, you know, and there's some great black women pundits out there. I like Alex Scott. Who's my favourite one? Yeah, Rachel Yankee. I think she talks a lot of sense. They've played at a high level in ladies football, and why shouldn't they have a say if they're gonna talk sense? But you know, I thought it was really important at this stage, you know, that we scored another goal. Did you really? It was like some of them journalists after the game. How important was it that you scored 2 goals and they scored none? How important is it that you're now top of your group stage instead of bottom? You can see Potter was fed up, and he had to do it, and he had to answer after a load of translation. You could see he just wanted to be on the plane and back. But yeah, that was what Robbie Savage was on about. I have no idea. That was a penalty every day of the week. Robbie Savage and Enialuko as knowledgeable as a nun in a fetish club. And then, of course, my least favourite Chelsea player, as you know, showed what massive kahunas he got. He's in front of the San Siro stadium. He's having laser pens aimed in on his eyes, and they've got to get fined for that. And Jorginho, who I have to say did not put a foot wrong all night, and that was the sort of game where you play Jorginho to stifle them, to stifle their game. It might stifle our game a bit, but it stifled them. He went up, took an excellent penalty, and do you know what? I've never ever said that I don't think Jorginho is a tremendous footballer. All I've ever said is that I think most of the time he slows our play down too much. But last night, Jorginho, you were superb, my friend. Probably not my friend if he watches these, but I doubt that. Not many of you do. Mention for the fans as well. I've been really critical of the noise levels at Stamford Bridge in Europe, but all you boys and girls who went out there and supported the team in Italy last night, the club's proud of you. You could hear you singing. You sounded louder than that lot do at Stamford Bridge. Perhaps there was no train strike over there. So yeah, Tamori was off. Everyone's been on about Tamori, and like I say, he had a couple of bad games. He had a couple of bad games under Frank. People forget that. people also forget that he's probably playing in an easier league over in Italy. So the same people would have wanted him dropped after those couple of bad performances under Frank, then wanted him bought back. It was the worst thing we ever did selling him. I wonder what they're thinking after these two games. Perhaps he was trying too hard. But the lad, he done well at that year at Derby. But Derby County, and it looks like, Napoli aside, that Italian league is considerably of a lower standard and a lower intensity than the Premier League is. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm not going to slag the young lad. He's still a young boy who's learning his game. But last night he cost his team dear. Although, do you know what? Cost his team dear. We were at 59% possession when he got sent off. 59% possession at the San Siro, and we were creating chances. So, did he cost them the game? Certainly made it harder for them, because Chelsea last night against 10 men put on a masterclass of how you play against 10 men. Short passes, give and go, run into space. Absolute masterclass. It was lovely to watch. Lovely goal from Auba. Thought Sterling was going to take it, but he's obviously listened to Auba. Auba's shouted and put it away nicely. All from work by Mason Mount, Reece James. We were great. The only bad thing about last night is let's hope that Reece James isn't badly injured, because I still say probably Thomas Tuchel would still be at the club if James and Chilwell hadn't got injured last season, because I think we'd have been in with a shout of winning the league. I really do. So praying that Reece James is okay and not out for too long. He had that Liao, or whatever his name is, in his pocket. Once that boy got by him, and he's a big lump who's skillful. But again, all that hype when you're playing in that Italian league, and that doesn't necessarily transcend to good performances in the Premier League. Different ball game altogether. And I think these two games against Milan have shown that. In the other game, Salzburg Zagreb did us a favour, really, just grabbing a point each, and we really need to beat one or the other of them away, and I think we'll do that. We've definitely turned the corner. I think certainly for a few games, certainly up until the World Cup, Potter's going to find it easy to manage that group, and then it will be after the World Cup, when you've got to try and keep that dressing room happy. But hopefully in January he'll clear out the players, presumably that Tuchel wanted cleared out, those that are obviously easily downhearted and spread negativity like poison. And let's hope the powers that be above him support him in doing that. But Potter got it spot on last night. But like Tommy Tuchel used to say, you can have all the tactics in the world, but those boys have got to put a shift in when they cross that line. And so I'm going to go straight onto the players' scores. It's not going to be a long one because it was such a good all-round performance. Kepa, I can only think of him having one save to make, but he made it. His distribution last night wasn't the best, to be honest, but he was under pressure a few times and he skied it into the stand. I think it was 3 times. Other times he picked his player out, but you know what? He looks assured. Good. He's speaking more. You can see he's talking to that back four more than he ever did, which probably means he's growing in confidence. I've got no real interest whether it's Mendy or Kepa. I think they're both good keepers and they both got flaws, but Kepa's really staking a claim to keep the jersey, and long may it continue, because that means we're not letting goals in, or if we are, the other side's got to work for it. Kepa gets a 7 last night. Reece James gets an 8.5. I thought he was superb again. Defensively, probably one of the best right backs in the world, and offensively one of the best wing backs in the world. So what have you got? Let's hope that injury's not too bad. He gets an 8.5. In the middle, Chalobah gets a 7.5. That one mistake he made in the second half cost him half a point, where he went for with his head when he should have gone with his chest, or even tried to kick it. But a young lad, didn't put a foot wrong all night apart from that. Very assured, great in the air. I thought his spatial awareness and what was going on around him was excellent. So that means his concentration was excellent. 7.5. Silva next to him had quite a quiet night. One great block that I could remember. He gets a 7.5. You get what it says on the tin with Silva, don't you? Koulibaly last night gets an 8. I thought he was absolutely superb. Aggressive, didn't have that shaky 10 minutes at the start. No one was getting by him last night. It was a really, really good performance. I think his best performance in a Chelsea shirt. And so yeah, he gets an 8. Chile gets a 7. Still a little way off of his best. I think maybe he was playing to team orders. Didn't get as many crosses in as I would like to have seen him. But defensively put a real shift in, and offensively wasn't bad. Had a lame shot at goal. I expect better from that. It's better from you, Chile. So that's a 7. In the middle we had Jorginho. Jorginho gets an 8 from me. He was superb. Can't remember him putting a foot wrong, and balls like bowling balls to go up and put that penalty away, particularly under that intimidation and having lasers shone in your eyes. So well done, Jorginho. It's nice when I can say that. Kova gets an 8.5. I thought he was absolutely out of this world. He was everywhere last night. Diffusing situations, starting attacks, absolutely top of his game last night. And now Sterling gets a 7. It wasn't his best game, but again, as soon as he lost that ball, he got back behind it, and his pace will always be a danger to any side. And because players are having to go with him, it's creating space for others. Mason Mount last night was my Chelsea man of match, even though he only played one half, and yeah, he gets a 9 from me. If he'd scored, he'd have been close to getting a 10 just playing one half. He was everywhere. For all his detractors and all those people that have slagged him off, oh, you know, you're Lampard's son, your Southgate's son, your Tuchel's son, all these cabbages who are so ready to lay into to our academy stars, that shoved it right up you. That just showed how good he was on a world stage, really. It's a shame that he got pulled back by Tomori, because if he'd potted that away, that'd have been the perfect performance. And another chance as well he should have done better with. Just dragged it wide when he should have scored. And of course the keeper made a great save low down from Mason. So yeah, superb. Aubameyang last night gets an 8. I thought he was going into space, he was running the channels, he was holding the ball up when he needed to, and of course he scored, which is what he's there to do. So again, great stuff, and yeah, there's rumours that he wants to go to Paris Saint-Germain, and his agents are already talking to him, because he feels so let down by the club owners. He was sold that he'd be working under Tuchel, and he's not happy about it. But I'll tell you what, he looked pretty happy last night. He looked pretty happy. So who knows what's true and what's not true. But do you know what? He shows you what a real centre forward is. Everything that Lukaku isn't, Aubameyang is at the moment. And so whilst he's in a blue shirt, whether it's for a long time or a short time. Long may it continue. The subs who came on did themselves proud. I'm not going to go through them all. Obviously, Conor Gallagher was the longest on. I thought he was excellent. If I had to score him, it would be a 7.5. And you know, to come on cold, it takes you 10-15 minutes to warm up. But I only think you gave the ball away once. Run them down, close their space. Could have had a goal actually. But yeah, a good all-round performance. And when the other subs come on, they were very decent. Aspie came on, didn't he? And he was superb as well. He'd be getting a 7.5. Potter last night gets a 8.5. What more can you ask, really? He seems to have took everything in his stride. It looks like he can manage egos. Looks like he's shoved it right up me and many of you as well. And long may that continue. Nothing I like more when I have the occasional negative thought than being proved wrong, because that means the club's doing well, the team's doing well, and in this case Potter's doing well as well. And for keeping his patience in that press conference. Hard enough when everything's been translated, but when you're getting questions like that, how important was it that you scored 2 goals and they didn't? I wouldn't answer. I'd just get up and walk out and say cabbages. That's all from me. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know what you agree with and what you disagree with. And you know, that at the end of the day, that's why I do these. Please subscribe to the channel. Please throw the video a like. Got about 6 likes last week. If you like these, it takes 2 seconds just to press the like button, and it helps me algorithm. Okay, thanks for watching, and I shall speak to you after the weekend's game against Aston Villa. Up to Chelsea.